Genius, get onto my show.
I got rid of my books a long time ago. I really don't have many books anymore.
And
when
you say you got rid of your books, are we talking about from childhood, college, high school?
I kept The Good Earth, and I kept all the ones that you read. Pearl Buck. Yeah, I kept all the books that I read. And
did The Good Earth resonate with you?
Yeah, I mean, being an Asian male and growing up in an agrarian society, I found a lot of common ground.
Well,
no, it's a beautiful book.
Okay.
What else did I keep? I kept, I
think it's interesting.
The Salinger, for sure.
Of course.
But, have you reread it lately?
No.
Oh, it's.
I will
It's so teenagery. It's almost embarrassing to read now.
You know what? I was embarrassed as a teenager to read it.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, this is too much. Yeah.
Because of course it hits home. Anything that's awkward, it hits for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anything awkward or when you're embarrassed for somebody.
Yeah, you're really embarrassed for yourself.
Well, it's because it hits a certain amount of reality. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes.
Okay, so you reread The Salinger.
Yeah, it's like going back to a movie that you loved when you were 14, and you're like, oh man, I was desperately
trying to think about
desperately emotional.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you keep any Steinbeck at all?
Yeah, The Grapes of Wrath, which I think is the most important American novel ever written. I threw away all the Hemingway, except for Old Man and the Sea, because it's short. What else? I kept my favorite books were the poetry anthologies. And short.
I still have those.
They're on the super thin paper. Like you could roll a joint in the paper with the paper. It's super thin.
How do you know that?
Well, because I took
Okay.
And then I kept the
those are still in my music studio actually.
Yeah, I love those.
Because I think as a musician, as a singer particularly, poetry's still what you have to be friends with.
And I also think that the curation of the material I'm pretty lazy, and like I said, I'm also very particular I'm so lazy that I'm particular about what I read, because I'd rather just relax unless it's amazing. So these books are so highly, not all of them, but the ones that I have are so beautifully curated that each one of them is a home run.
I wouldn't go that far. I love looking at anthologies and examining why something is anthologized, which we actually have no idea. And you have to,
I guess.
but of course, you're being made to read something, which now, of course, it's not totally different, but it's quite different. I teach high school, so talking to them about what they are reading.
Yeah, but you're teaching music. Are you
teaching I teach music. Yeah, I teach music, but they have what's called literature and composition.
Oh.
Lit and comp. And so I'm always asking them okay, well, what do you have to read for the AP tests, or, what do you have to read this year?
What are people reading now?
Well, it's there's some of the same, but there's more modern things. Well, for instance, if you and I were freshmen in college, we would be reading the Quran just as a given.
Really?
Yeah, that's a part. My understanding, quite often, if you're not reading it in high school, you're reading it in college, at the beginning of college.
Isn't that curious?
Yeah. Different world.
We wouldn't have even thought of reading the Quran. Not for any reason. It just wasn't on our radar.
Well, we would. I took did you have comparative religions in high school?
No, I grew up in Newport Beach, so it was mostly about comparative boating manuals.
Okay. So
really, I didn't learn anything in high school. There wasn't anything of any use in high school.
Well, you learned a lot.
I took one AP class, one AP English class. Mr. Tagami, if you're listening, still one of the greatest teachers of all time. Terrific. But that was really the only class of note that I took in high school.
Do you know what my AP English teacher's name was? Eamon Kane.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not even joking.
That sounds mysterious.
It's like Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
Amen, Cain.
What happens if you don't turn in your homework? So you get lesions all over your body?
No. He's an intense individual, though. Like, honestly, it's like having like an older Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Teaching your literature class.
I bet he made a big impression.
Absolutely. I remember just being like in his class, like I don't know if Mr. Tagami was like this, but like you're just in the class and like you go into like a heightened state.
Yeah.
Like you realize that you're actually in an altered state being in that class.
You don't notice it until you're leaving, until the bell rings and the world comes back to you.
I just had this like smile on my face, and he probably thought, I don't know what he thought, but
I know what he thought.
No, okay, anyway, but yeah, altered state of consciousness, but like on a totally intellectual level.